Hey guys, and welcome back to another travel video. We just spent 10 amazing days in Turkey exploring the stunning regions of Cappadocia and Antalya. We split our trip evenly, spending 5 days in Cappadocia and the next 5 days in Antalya. In this video, we'll be focusing on everything you need to know about Cappadocia, while our next video will cover all things Antalya. Well, we kicked off our trip with an overnight bus from Antalya to Cappadocia, a 9 hours journey that brought us straight into the heart of this magical region. For the next 5 days, we stayed at a cozy cave hotel in Goremi. If you're planning a similar trip where you have to take an overnight journey from one city to another, do not worry because there are plenty of buses running between cities day and night, so even the last minute travel is a breeze. Once we arrived in Goremi, we checked in, grabbed some lunch, and then headed back to freshen up before setting out to explore the city. To tell you a bit about the city Goremi, which is located in the Cappadocia region of Turkey, it was formed through a combination of natural geological processes and human activity over thousands of years. It is said that the region was shaped by intense volcanic activities thousands of years ago. Eruptions from nearby volcanoes covered the area with thick layers of volcanic ash, which eventually solidified into a soft rock called tuff. And of course, over time, the forces of wind and water led to the distinctive landscapes of valleys, chimneys, and unusual rock formations that Cappadocia is famous for. The city is home to many stray dogs and cats, and the locals make sure to feed them regularly. So, the day one of our itinerary was all about traveling from Belfast to Antalya and then from Antalya to Goremi. As you can imagine, by the time we finally reached Goremi, we were exhausted. All we wanted to do was crash, but instead, we decided to try a traditional Turkish bath or hammam to refresh and rejuvenate. While I couldn't capture the hammam experience on camera, obviously, trust me, it was by far the best decision we made to kick off our trip. Next, we headed to a Turkish ravioli restaurant for dinner, which offered stunning views of the surrounding fairy chimneys and cave hotels. We enjoyed a delicious Turkish meal before heading back to our hotel. We had an early start planned for day 2 as we had booked a hot air balloon ride and had to be ready for pickup by 5 am. It's 6 am and we are heading to the hot air balloon launch point. Goremi is famous for hot air balloon rides, though they're available throughout Turkey. We booked our flight through our hotel, opting for a ride with 20 people, which usually lasts around 45 minutes. Prices ranges from 150 to 300 euros per person, depending upon the group size and the service provider. This activity happens twice a day at sunrise and sunset. We chose the sunrise option. By the time we arrived, a few balloons had already taken off. Our takeoff was scheduled for around 7 am, and watching the balloons fill with hot air and lift off was truly breathtaking. The flight offered stunning views of landscapes, giving us an aerial perspective of Cappadocia's top landmarks. Finally, at the end of the flight, our pilot celebrated with a champagne toast, and we even received a certificate to mark the experience. After this incredible experience, we headed back to our hotel for breakfast. Next on our itinerary was exploring the Uchisar Castle. There's a bus every 30 minutes from Goremi to Uchisar and Nevşehir. Uchisar Castle was often called one of the ugliest castles, but its intricate details and carvings are magnificent. It is said that this tall volcanic rock has been a refuge for villagers for centuries, offering protection when the enemy armies overtook the surrounding plains. So after exploring the castle, we headed back to Goremi for dinner and relaxed, soaking in the beautiful views around. It was a much needed break after a long, busy day that we'd had. With temperatures ranging from 31 to 35 degrees, even an hour in the sun was exhausting. So we decided to take it easy, stroll around the city, and finally get the good night's sleep we deserved. It's day 3 and today is going to be much lighter compared to the hectic sleepless first 2 days. On our itinerary today are Love Valley and a visit to a local factory. To be honest, Cappadocia is much more about experiencing the activities than seeing a lot of sights. You can enjoy ATV rides, camel rides, horseback riding, and those iconic photo shoots with balloons in the background. People wake up at 5 am just to capture them. There are also cultural experiences like hammam, traditional Turkish dance shows, and hookah lounges. However, when it comes to sightseeing, Cappadocia is well organized for tourists. There are guided day tours that cover all the main landmarks and museums, making it easy for the travelers to see everything. Love Valley, however, wasn't included in our day tour scheduled for day 4, so we are heading there by cab today.
By choosing Ihlara is the softest rock formation which you ever can see.
Most of the places in Cappadocia look similar at the first glance. You might not notice the difference until you get up close, but that chance is rare. It's just that these rock formations, shaped by ancient volcanic activities, have turned into unique tourist attractions. For example, the name Love Valley was given to this particular landscape because of its heart-shaped fairy chimneys. Our next stop is to the local factory that was actually suggested by our cab driver who got us to the Love Valley. Turkey is famous for its replicas of luxury bags, but I couldn't capture any of the footage at the factory. To be honest, the atmosphere in these places could get a bit tense with a lot of pressure to buy something. This is just my personal opinion. However, the factory did have a beautiful collection of luxury bags and premium leather jackets. After leaving the factory, our driver dropped us off to one of the spots in Goremi for a light lunch. Every cafe or restaurant here is beautifully decorated with aesthetics that are very soothing to the eyes. We really found the hospitality in the restaurant business exceptional. After lunch, we headed back to our room to rest for a bit. We had no plans for the evening, so we decided to soak in the nightlife at an authentic restaurant and call it a night. It's day 4 and today we booked a guided tour known as the Green Tour. In Cappadocia, there are 3 popular tours, red, green and blue, each covering a different set of locations. The Green Tour lasts about 8 to 9 hours and covers a wide range of must-see spots. Our first stop was the Panoramic Viewpoint, which as the name suggests, offers stunning views of Goremi. Apologies for the video quality here, it was so hot that it was really hard to see what I was capturing. Our next stop was Pigeon Valley. It is named after the pigeon houses carved into these rocks. Pigeons are considered sacred here and their droppings are used as fertilizers to enrich the infertile soil. Next on our itinerary was a jewelry store known for its beautiful silver and gold ornaments made with precious stones. We were given a good amount of time here for people who were interested in shopping. Soon after which, we headed to the underground city, which goes 8 floors deep and about 40 meters down the ground. Only 4 floors are open to the public, but it's a must-see for those who aren't claustrophobic. Our next stop was Acigol Lake, a natural water body with incredibly soft sand. They say that swimming isn't allowed here due to the risk of drowning in the soft sand. To tell you a bit more about the guided tour, we had 2 guides, one who spoke Spanish and one who spoke English. We had a separate minivan which had about 20 people in the package, and we were given sufficient time to spend in each location. Lunch was included in our package and we had our lunch at Ihlara Valley, which is our next stop. Once we finished our lunch at Ihlara Valley, we had a short hike up to a viewpoint before continuing our journey. Our final stop was to try and buy some Turkish delights. After a long day, we returned to our hotel, freshened up, and went out to an Indian restaurant for dinner, followed by some souvenir shopping. This was our last day in Cappadocia, and tomorrow morning we head to Antalya. We headed back to our hotel early that evening to pack for our journey. And that brings us to the end of this vlog. I'll see you in the next one where we'll dive into everything Antalya. I hope this was an informative video, and thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.